Real quick about generator shim stacking. Exciting thing is this car had this nice shiny new generator in it, and I hooked up voltage to the D plus and grounded it, and it started turning, which is not good. Anyway, but I want to talk to you guys real quick about stacking your shims the proper way, because this one, check this out. This generator here is good. This is an old rusty one, but look at this. They welded this fan to the because they couldn't figure out how to tighten it up right. It was mushroomed over here because they didn't stack the shims properly. So I thought, you know what? I better explain this to somebody, because I bet you guys might be looking at the same situation. So, very cool. Let's take a look here. Let me show you how this is supposed to go. So, this thing, according to everything I have studied, this vent right here is supposed to be facing down. Okay, so I don't know exactly why. It makes more sense for it to be up, because then the air would get caught in here, but I think it's the flow of the air in the engine compartment always is from through this here out and out to the out the fan shroud, and then the hot air all goes out the back. So would it work the other way? Probably would work okay, because what will happen is you would build pressure on this side from the airflow, and the air would actually run through the generator backwards, which I don't think would hurt anything. But as far as I know, this thing is supposed to be facing downward. So I'll just leave that up to you from here. But anyway, the thing about the shims that everybody gets wrong is there has to be a couple different things. I'm going to talk about the rear pulley and the front pulley. The rear pulley has this thing here, I don't know what it's called. Then it has this flat washer that goes on here. Then you have a total of 3 shims. 3 shims always on the back. And then you also have your wave washer and your nut. Now, how these shims are stacked, on this one it had 2 shims on this side of the pulley. You always have to have the third shim in there to make up the distance, because if you don't have it, your fan's going to crack. So in this case, it was stacked like that. The fan was on here, of course, with the metal piece on in first. Okay, and then it had 1 shim here, the wave washer, the nut. That is right. You can also have 1 shim down here, depending on, so if you put on your fan and the backing plate and the fan rubs, then you can have 1 shim here, but then you have to put this second shim stacked on this side. Do you follow me? There always has to be 3 shims total, or you can have all 3 of them on here, as long as it doesn't rub when you put it in the fan shroud. And you have to have a total of 3 shims, a washer and a nut on the back side. Let's talk about the front side of the pulley. Now, a lot of you guys might be going, man, my pulley keeps cracking. Okay, it's the weirdest thing. Volkswagen is very, very specific. If you don't do things exactly as they were originally, you're going to have problems. They are not a simple car. They are very complicated. Unfortunately, let me get this pulley, since it's off, ready to go. So there's two different styles of pulleys. You have the one with the holes in it. Well, actually, this pulley is no good. Wait. It usually has two things that stick out right here, and then you put this piece on here. Yes, this pulley is no good. So, it usually has two things that pop out, and then they go through two holes, or vice versa. Okay? Actually, yeah, it's vice versa. The two things that stick out are on this pulley, and then they go onto here. Then there's this style, which is the new German pulley, and it has two flat things, and that's what keeps your pulley from spinning. But this pulley here, trash. Okay, so let's talk about this. There has to be a total of 9 shims. Some guys will tell you 7. They may be right, but I've always known 9 shims. Maybe shims 8, 9, 7 shims will not crack the pulley. I don't know, but I've always been told 9 shims total on your pulley. So when you put this together, you can have all 9 over here, or all 9 over here, or 3 over here, and 7 over here, or 6 over here, 6 over here, and 3 over here. It doesn't matter how they're stacked, but you have to have a total of 9 shims. If you don't put it together with all 9 shims, what happens is your pulley is going to crack. So it's just the way it works. I don't know why. I didn't engineer it. And in fact, I can't figure out how that they would know that. So I don't know. But I don't try and argue with it. I just do it. And when you put all 9 shims on, you usually don't have any problems. I've never had a problem since I started using 9 shims. A long, long time ago. This was like, in the 80s, 70s, late 70s, early 80s. So that is the way you stack your shims for your pulleys, your fan, for all of your alternator and generator. They're all the same. Okay? I'll see you guys on the next video, and be sure to subscribe. There's a lot more stuff coming.